I just wanted to share with you guys my mini book haul. So these are all the books that I got for the past 2 days alone. Ayan. So I'm just very excited about this, and I thought na baka meron ding readers sa inyo or book collectors ganon. So I'm just going to share what I got. Let's start with these 3. Ayan. So for Christmas, one of my patients gave me a Target gift card for $25 yata yun. So, ayun, syempre, libro yung in-order ko from Target. So, all these 3 are online orders from Target. Tas, nagdagdag na lang ako ng konti because I think one is around $10 to $15 each. So, starting with this one, The Body Keeps the Score. And then, It Didn't Start With You. And then, My After All. So, siguro nung umu-order ako nito, medyo I'm going through something. Kaya medyo more on self-help books yung mga pinag-order ko. Pero nung binasa ko kasi kung tungkol saan tong books, it's more on trauma, ganon. Growing up and sa life natin. And then this one is about motherhood. So wala lang. I guess I'm in the feels nung umorder ako nito. Kaya puro ganyan yung in-order ko, pero nakaka-intriga kasi talaga and maganda yung reviews. And then for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books, ito super wala sa plano talaga, but I got all of these books from the Dollar Tree lang. So each one of them is only $1.25. So 'di ba, super sulit. So lahat pa sila hardbound. Kaya napabili na ako kahit wala naman akong plano. Yun nga, wala akong ka-idea sa kanila, but the covers are so pretty. Ayan, judge a book by its cover. Nagustuhan ko yung mga cover nila. Kaya kinuha ko na lang na din. You know, try something new. And then, today, nung we were running errands with some of our patients, ayun, napadaan ulit kami sa different branch ng Dollar Tree. And then, this was the first book that I saw. I was just going to buy ice cream for my patients sana sa Dollar Tree. Pero nakita ko na meron din doon new stocks ng new books. So, ayan. Napakuha ulit ako ng 3. Wala lang. I'm so happy with this. Kasi, girl, $1.25. Arte ka pa ba? So, these are books na wala rin akong idea kung ano yung story. But, that's fine. Kasi, I always like to try different genres naman. Wala akong specific genre na nag-stick to ganon. Kasi, syempre, ang lungkot nun, diba? Let's try different genres naman. Ayan, I'm just so happy with my haul. So, share ko lang sa inyo, guys. Hello, guys! Welcome back to another vlog. Ayan, so today, pagkakwentuhan natin yung school life ng kids ko dito sa US. On my previous vlogs, I've had several comments and inquiries na rin from other parents na magmamigrate sa US with their kids, ganon. Some of them are saying na hindi nila alam kung paano yung transitioning ng kids to US, lalo na with regards to school. So in this vlog, gusto ko sana ikwento sa inyo kung paano yung naging experience namin ng kids ko and kung ano yung mga differences na napansin namin dito sa US in the first 3 months na nandito na kami. So like I mentioned, 3 months na kami nandito sa US and my kids have been going to school for the past 3 months din. Kasi nung dumating kami dito sa US, parang 1 week lang yung pahinga nila, in-enroll na namin sila or ni-register na namin sila kagad sa school dito. And then the second week, ayun, nag-start na sila kagad sa school. Disclaimer lang, my kids are going to a public school dito sa US and then sa Philippines, naka-private school sila. So, if any comparison man magagawa ko in this vlog, most probably yun, comparison between the public school here in the US and then private school sa Philippines. Okay, so number 1 na difference na napansin ko is they have shorter hours. So, dito ang pasok lang ng kinder ko is from 8:05 until 2:05 on most days. Tapos meron silang shortened period na 8:05 until 12:05 lang sila. And then for my 5th grader, same ng start ng school, 8:05 and then hanggang 2:35 siya. And then meron din siyang days na shortened period, so hanggang 1:20 lang siya. So ayun, napansin ko na mas maikli yung hours nila. Kasi sa Philippines, alam ko, kahit sa private school, usually ang start ng time is 7, 7:30, ganun. Tapos up until hapon na yun, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock na. And then I know sa public school, meron pang earlier na 6 AM yung start until 2, parang ganun, or half day siguro. Pero ayun, napansin ko lang na sila dito, latest na yung 2:35 unless syempre merong extracurricular activities yung anak mo or ni-register mo siya sa other after school activities, ganun. Pero pinaka-late na yun na 2:35 lang yung uwian nila. Tapos dito pala, speaking of the time for school, napansin ko na yung time nila, merong mga butal, ganun. So, katulad niyan, ang start is 8:05. Alam mo yun, hindi saktong 8 o'clock, ganun. Tapos, yung uwian din 2:05. Tapos, may time pa nga na ang uwian nila is 1:02. Alam mo yun, may mga butal na minutes, ganun. So, nagtaka ako na parang bakit ganun? Bakit hindi saktong 1 o'clock? Hindi saktong 2 o'clock? Hindi 8 o'clock, ganun. Alam mo yun? So, ayun. Tapos, parang ang explanation lang ng pinsan ko is parang dito daw meron silang specific number of hours na kailangang nasa school yung kids. So, parang dinivide nila yon into 5 days. Tapos, since nga meron silang mga shortened period or shortened days, kaya, ayun, dinistribute na lang nila yung mga butal-butal na minutes, parang ganun. Pero, hindi naman all the time din na 2:05 talaga lumalabas. Minsan nag-extend ng konti, minsan 2 o'clock lumalabas na parang ganun. So, yun lang yung specific time na binigay for each class. And then, number 2, of course, is no uniform for public schools. Dito, medyo common knowledge naman na sa ating mga Pinoy na yung sa US, pag public school, wala silang uniform. Sa atin kasi kahit public school, di ba, naka-uniform pa rin sila. Kahit hindi sila naka-black shoes, ganun. Kahit naka-rubber shoes lang sila, pero meron pa rin silang blouse or shirt for the guys, tapos pants or yung palda, ganun, for the girls. Pero dito, for public school, wala silang uniform. Meron lang dress code, pero as long as you comply to the dress code, kahit ano, pwede mong suotin. Okay, number 3 is there is a free laptop or iPad for the kids to use for school. So, dito, napansin ko na yung lahat ng students talaga, regardless kung anong day sila pumasok or nag-start ng school dito, bibigyan pa rin nila ng iPad or ng laptop. Tapos nandun lahat ng schoolwork nila gagawin. So in line with that, napansin ko rin na dito wala silang notebooks and books for the elementary. Kasi yung kids ko naman are both in elementary school. So hindi ko na alam kung sa middle school and high school mag-iiba yon. Pero for now, yung kids ko both in elementary, wala silang notebooks and books na inuuwi. So lahat ng activities nila is done dun sa laptop or sa iPad. But for my kinder, ayun, meron silang mga schoolwork na on paper. Pero meron din silang schoolwork na ginagawa sa iPad. Tapos ayun nga, free for the student to use yung laptop or yung iPad. Pero syempre, I'm sure na after the end of the school year, isosoli yun. Pero ayun, provided nga ng school lahat ng things na kailangan ng kids. So pati pala yung mga pencil, and yung mga crayons, ganun, especially for the kinder, yun, lahat sila, nasa school yung gamit. So, ang dala lang ng anak ko pagpasok is yung baon niya and then yung laptop or yung iPad niya. Yun lang. Okay, number 4, na difference na napansin ko is, here in the US, they have free breakfast and lunch for the students. So, ayun nga, ang kids ko is private school sa Philippines. So, doon, nagbabaon sila ng kanya-kanyang food. I know meron tayong cafeteria sa mga private school. Tapos, pero bibilhin mo yun, di ba? Hindi mo yun libre. Pero dito, libre yung food nila sa school. So, if you want your kids to have breakfast in school, agahan nyo lang yung pagpasok. So, katulad nyan, 8 to 5 yung pasok nila. Pumunta lang kayo sa school ng mga around 7:30 para makakain yung kids doon. And that's free. Tapos, during their break time, during lunch time, ayun, meron ulit free food sa cafeteria. So, kukuha na lang sila ng food nila doon. With regards to new immigrants like us, so aware sila na bagong dating lang yung bata dito sa US. So, medyo lenient sila with regards to the food. So, nakwento sa akin ng isa kong kasamahan dito na usually daw talaga hindi na pinagbabaon ng mga teachers or ng school mismo yung mga kids. Kasi nga meron namang food for the kids sa school. Hindi sila magugutom daw. Pero since bagong dating nga sila, alam naman nila na iba yung food, nag-a-adjust pa yung bata, ganun. So, inaalaw na magpabaon. Pero, ayun nga, mas prefer nila na hindi na lang na magdadala ng baon yung mga bata. Which is good din, kasi parang menos gastos for the family yun kasi meron ng food sa school. Ayun. Okay, next, number 5, no homework on weekends. Ayan. So, yan yung isa kong napansin dito. For my kinder, meron siyang homework all throughout Monday to Thursday. Pero pagdating na Friday, wala silang homework. And then for my 5th grader naman, Usually, meron din siyang homework from Monday to Friday, pero yung teacher niya, ang ginagawa is magbibigay siya ng homework for the whole week, and then depende na sa bata kung paano niya tatapusin yung homework na yun, and then isasabit niya yun lahat the following week na ganun. So, yun yung isang napansin ko na difference, kasi naalala ko sa Pilipinas nung nag-aaral pa ako, pag weekend, dun maraming homework madalas binibigay yung teacher, kasi nga weekend, you have the time to do the homework, parang ganun. So, dito, ayun, parang pinaprioritize nila yung time na makapag-rest yung mga bata during the weekend. So, walang homework pag weekends. Number 6, no changing of teachers per subject for the grade school. So, ayun nga, again, clarify ko lang na my kids are both in elementary school dito sa US. And napansin ko na meron lang silang isang teacher for all the subjects. Ayan. So, for my kinder, meron siyang assistant teacher, syempre. Pero yung pinaka-advisor niya, siya lang yung nagtuturo nung lahat ng subjects. Same with my 5th grader, yung pinaka-advisor niya or homeroom teacher yung tawag nila. Ayun, siya na rin yung teacher niya for all the subjects. So, di ba sa atin sa Philippines, parang meron tayong homeroom teacher, yung advisor natin, and then meron tayong different teachers for each of the subjects, ganyan. Tapos yung mga teacher natin yung pumupunta sa classroom natin every time na magpapalit tayo ng subject. So dito sila hindi. Iisa lang yung teacher nila for all subjects. But that's for grade school. Nakwento ng pamangkin ko dito na nung nag-start daw siya dito at middle school, ayun. Sa middle school daw, dun na magi-start na yung students yung magpapalipat-lipat ng classroom. So, they will have different teachers for different subjects na. Here, again, grade school is from kinder up until 5th grade lang. Next is number 7. Number 7, ayan. There is no fixed school nurse or school clinic. So, sa atin sa Philippines, pag sa school, bawat school, di ba, common na meron tayong clinic, school clinic, of course, and then merong nurse na nandun available every day for the students. So, itong no fixed school nurse or clinic, nalaman ko lang siya kasi one time, masama yung pakiramdam ni Aiden. So, pagdating niya dito sa bahay, nagulat ako na parang he was crying, he was upset. So, tinanong ko, unang pumasok sa isip ko is nabully siya sa school, ganun. So, that's one of my biggest fears kasi for my kids na mabubuli sila or ma-isolate sila sa school, ganun. So, kinabahan na ako. Pero, ayun, syempre, tinanong ko siya ano nangyari, why is he crying, ganun. Tapos sabi niya lang naman is masakit daw yung ulo niya. So, tinanong ko siya na bakit hindi siya pumunta sa school clinic or hindi siya nagsabi sa teacher niya, ganun. So, ang sagot niya sa akin is sinabi niya daw sa teacher niya, pero sabi daw ng teacher niya na parang tiisin na lang up until matapos nga yung school. So, doon medyo na inis ako, syempre, as a mom, parang masama yung pakiramdam ng bata, bakit naman hindi papauwiin nung teacher or at least ipapadala sa school clinic, ganon. So, the next day, ayun, pumunta ako sa school just to clarify and to ask. Tapos, ayun, nung nakausap ko nga yung sa office, kunento ko yung nangyari. Binigay niya sa akin yung contact number ng teacher to talk to the teacher kung para nga ma-explain din ng side niya kung bakit hindi pinauwi si Aiden, ganon. Tapos ayun, natanong ko lang na saan po ba yung school clinic? Gumanon ako. Tapos yung sagot sa akin sa office is, what do you mean? What do you mean clinic? What do you mean school clinic? Gumanon siya. So, parang na-explain ko na, parang school nurse, ganon. So, what happens if magkasakit yung mga bata nga sa school, katulad nung nangyari kay Aiden, ganon. Tapos, hindi siya pinauwi ng teacher. So, wala bang school clinic or school nurse that he can go to, ganon, para nga ma-check siya. Tapos, ayun, dun sinabi sa akin nung sa office na wala silang school clinic. And then, yung nurse is pumupunta lang doon every Wednesday on a certain time lang. Hindi pa siya nag-i-stay doon for the whole day. Meron lang specific time na pumupunta siya, ganon. I don't know kung bakit may specific time. Tapos, limited lang, parang ganon. And then, one day lang per week. So, ayun nga. Nung nagkasakit sa Aiden, parang Thursday yata yun. Or something. Basta ganon. Hindi siya Wednesday. So, wala yung school nurse. So, ayun, doon ako medyo na wala palang school nurse, walang clinic. So, medyo, alam mo yun, medyo concerned ako kung paano nga mangyayari sa kids pag nagkakasakit sila sa school, ganun. So, ang sabi na lang sa akin is usually daw pag ganun, na masama yung pakiramdam ng bata sa kids, is tatawag daw talaga sa parents para sunduin nga yung kids if kailangan. So, yung teacher nung nakausap ko siya, Sabi niya lang sa akin, malapit na daw kasi yung uwian nung time na nagsabi si Aiden na masakit nga daw yung ulo niya, ganon. Tapos hindi naman nga daw umiiyak. In her opinion, hindi ganon ka-distressed si Aiden. Enough para tawagan pa ako and pauwiin. And then, I think there's only about 30 minutes left na lang sa class bago yung dismissal nung nagsabi daw si Aiden na yun. So anyway, ayun nga. Wala silang school clinic or school nurse. I just don't know sa mga private school, ganon, or maybe sa other public school. Pero yung dito, yung public school dito sa amin, wala silang clinic. Okay, number 8, na difference na napansin ko is reading fiction and non-fiction books is required for the students. Especially for my 5th grader, ayun, nire-require talaga sila ng teacher nila every week to read 1 fiction and then 1 non-fiction. Tapos, parang nagku-quiz sila about it. Parang pinag-uusapan nila kung ano yung nangyari dun sa book, gano'n. That is one thing actually that I like. Kasi sa Philippines, they have their school books. Pero, tapos syempre, meron din tayong library. Pero hindi talaga totally required na yung bata is magbabasa ng libro, na i-make sure ng teachers na merong binabasang fiction and non-fiction yung mga bata. Okay, number 9, difference na napansin ko is teachers are always in casual clothing. This one, it's not that big a deal para sa akin. Kasi, syempre, your clothes does not define naman yung kakayahan mo para magturo. Pero napansin ko lang siya kasi lalo na yung sa kindergarten ko. Pag sinusundo ko siya, minsan yung teacher naka-sports attire pa na naka-shorts and t-shirt lang and then rubber shoes, ganon. Pero madalas naka-hoodie, naka-sweater lang and then naka-sweatpants. Ganon yung teacher nung kinder ko kasi hinahatid sila sa gate. Kaya nakikita ko siya every time na susunduin ko. And then for Aiden, tuwing nakikita ko rin yung school advisor niya, medyo naka-casual clothes lang sila. So, napansin ko lang, kasi sa Philippines, di ba, irregardless kung public or private school, laging naka-uniform din yung teacher. If not uniform, ano man lang, business attire, parang ganon, business casual. Di ba, yung parang collared pa rin, na blouse, polo shirt, and then naka-slacks, ganon. Parang wala tayong nakikitang teacher na pumapasok ng naka-jogging pants or naka-maong na pants, di ba? Unless, syempre, parang ang tawag doon, college fair, yung mga gano'n na casual days. Pero on regular days, di ba, usually put together yung mga teacher natin. So, ayun, napansin ko lang na hindi sila ganun ka-strict regarding sa damit ng mga teachers dito. And then number 10, last for this list is, napansin ko na yung elementary, and then yung middle school, and then yung high school, they are all in separate buildings or separate schools na talaga. So, like sa Philippines, di ba? If meron kang anak na sabihin natin nasa elementary and then meron kang anak na nasa high school, pwede mo silang i-enroll sa isang school kasi magkaibang building lang sila pero same school, di ba? Parang ganon. Dito hindi. Yung elementary is a separate school, elementary lang siya talaga. And then pag magbi-middle school na yung bata, ililipat mo siya sa middle school which is different school na naman, as in ibang name din, ganon. And then nasa ibang lugar. And then same with high school, ayan, ililipat mo na naman siya sa high school. So yun napansin ko. Wala pa akong nakikita dito, at least dito sa area namin sa California, wala pa ako nakikita dito na school na yung maraming buildings, tapos nandun lahat ng elementary, middle school, and high school. So, laging separate lahat. So, yun, napansin ko lang yun. So, I'm editing my vlog right now, and I forgot to mention na one other thing na napansin ko pala dito sa school nila sa US is every morning, as in every day, walang palya, tuwing ihahatid ko yung kids sa school, yung principal nila, and then I think may assistant siya, everyday nandun sila sa harap ng school sa entrance, and then sinasalubong nila lahat ng mga kids, which is a very nice gesture for me. Tapos, napansin ko rin na halos lahat ng kids kilala niya. As in, tinatanong niya yung name ng bawat isang estudyante, tapos araw-araw, ayun nga, binabati nila. Nung first day kasi ni Aiden and then ni Kayla, syempre, sabay silang pumapasok, diba? Nung first day, napansin ko, binati lang sila nun nga yung principal and then yung parang assistant niya. And then the second day, ayun, tinanong nung principal yung names nila. Tapos ayun nga na parang natanong na, are you new students? Ganyan. So napapansin na nila. And then the following days na hinahatid ko sila, ayun, binabati na sila ng principal na, hi Aiden, hi Kayla, good morning, alam mo yung gano'n. Tapos the other kids din, then yung sa other kids din na pumapasok sa school, ayun, binabati nila by name, which is super nice in my opinion. Alam mo yun, parang they take the time para kilalanin yung each student. Tapos binabati pa nila every day, sinasalubong nila sa harap ng school. I've never seen that sa Philippines na yung principal natin is nakaabang sa sa entrance ng school para salubungin yung mga students, alam mo yun. So, wala lang, napansin ko lang, it's very nice experience din. So, that's it for my list of the things that are different with regards to the school here in the US and school in the Philippines. So, again, disclaimer lang, these are just based on our experiences. I'm not saying na ito yung talagang nangyayari sa lahat ng schools dito, sa lahat ng states. So, ito lang yung mga napansin ko dito sa area namin, sa California. So, if you're a parent na you're migrating to the US and then medyo kabado ka kung anong gagawin mo sa school life ng kids mo, so, sana makatulong tong list na to para, you know, alam nyo lang kung what to expect, ano yung mga differences na pwede nyong mapansin or differences na pwede nyong mapagplanuhan, mapagpreparan for the kids, ganon, sa school. So if you have any other comments or concerns with regards to your kids, if you're migrating here in the US with your kids, please comment down below, tapos pag-usapan natin on our next vlog. Bye!